Hello, what's going on, my Jumpsters? This is me, Diamond, again. I'm kind of tired, but, you know, I took a nap earlier, but I'm still fucking tired right now. More Chris Chan. Here we go. Let's suffer.
On May 8th, 2017, after a 561-day-long hiatus, Christine began drawing new pages for her issue 11 comic book, showcasing her process via a 39-minute-long YouTube video. Even though she can be seen talking at times, her microphone seems to have been disabled for the recording. On May 11th, Chris wrote on Facebook that she was a contender for the Best Local Minor Celebrity poll listed by Charlottesville's Seaville Weekly newspaper and asked for people to vote for her. At the time of her announcement, she was in third place with 7% of the vote. She also privately messaged her Facebook friends asking them for their vote. The list was one of many polls on the magazine, which accepted nominations from anyone online. Christine was also in the running for Best TV Personality and Local Radio Personality. Among the list of Best Musicians was Christian and the Hedgehog Boys.
No fucking
and the poll for Best Neighborhood featured Quickville. Thanks to many online observers, Chris quickly climbed to the #1 spot in the Local Minor Celebrity category, which was a feat soon repeated in other categories. Christine soon after left an update on Facebook, stating that she was to be voted for in the Local Minor Celebrity category only, and pleaded for people not to add her into any other categories with which she had no involvement. The following day, moderators for the polls stepped in to remove anything Quick related, though eventually more falsified nominations were added in again by Wings. After a while, the Seaville website reported that due to supposed frustrating technical glitches, the nominations had to be started over. Chris blamed trolling stupids for mass voting her out. On May 13th, in response to an article regarding possible surgery which would make trans women able to carry a child through pregnancy, Chris expressed her elation at the prospect of finally becoming a mother.
Please don't.
Next day, she wished for a happy Mother's Day to all mothers, who she thought were amazing, especially Roseju and Simonla, sharing a panel from her Sonichu comic featuring Roseju frantically doing housework. On May 15th, she live-streamed herself using the photo manipulation and alteration software, Photoshop, to create a large composite portrait of herself, her parents, and her Sonichu characters.
We have already done the drawings and scanned them into the computer, at which we are going to put these pictures onto the pre-taken photographs for the 11th book. So right now I'll be transferring you live to my laptop. Alright, now I got... Okay, here's the layer.
That's cool.
Alright.
This looks funny as hell.
Some head shapes right there. I think I'm going to shrink them just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's good.
Jesus Christ.
A little bit right there. Well, look at the close. When I've worked on my shirt recently, I've noticed that the fabric weaving pattern was similar to that on my father's sweater. Made me cry a little bit.
Dang.
On May 18th, Christine reported on Twitter that a troll texted her to say that he was from the future. She replied by saying that he should go back because he had forgotten their 2010 to 2020 sports almanac. The next day, after not returning home the night before, the challenged cat, Sorbet, was found by a neighbor, hiding in a gutter in their driveway. The cat was only moved after being sprayed with water from a hose. After checking with a veterinarian, Sorbet was found to have suffered head trauma, uneven pupil dilation, bruises, and some bleeding. The doctor concluded that he had likely been struck by a car and would stay at the vet over the weekend. On the 21st, Chris revealed the cover art for Sonichu issue 12, prominently addressing LGBTQ themes, as the scene was set during the annual so-called SLGBTQ Pride Festival of Quickville.
What the fuck?
Chris addressed the addition of the S to the acronym in a Facebook post. Let's talk a bit about my idea of adding the S to LGBTQ. Firstly, the S is for straight, or cisgender. Both the straight and cisgender flags are above the S. I feel it's beneficial and good to include the straight/cisgender, as to not leave them feeling left out. I mean, we, the LGBTQ, have our straight allies and supporters, and to figure ourselves as different from them, in a sense, have seeded the idea of our community in us. Regardless, we do welcome them to our pride festivals and events, but they each may have been feeling singled and left out. Plus, look at the acronym this way, SLGBTQ, we, the LGBT, and everyone in between. The Q being the queer and questioning, either amongst our allies and those who may be exploring and figuring themselves out, and the S, our allies, most of, at least, that were here before us, and we still welcome them, at least the ones with open hearts. We, the LGBTQ, still strive and work towards equality and freedom, like everyone else. Have we totally considered the same for them? We are equal to everyone, and we are to remain included, and the least to return the favor unto them. Include their flags and letter in what we already have. The total salads are a multitude of variants that makes us all as a whole a damn great salad, meats and fruits included. We, the whole world together, like SLGBTQ. Thank you. On May 22nd, Christine reported that Sorbet had been brought back from the vet and shared the latest pictures of him. He was feeling better, even though his left pupil was still dilated. 2 days later, Chris made an update video for YouTube.
Just pretty much, this video is their plea for money because we're really broke and my mother needs more of her meal replacement shakes right now. It's not hard enough to last throughout the rest of the month. Anyway, but obviously, as y'all may have noticed on my Facebook, I have completed a bunch more pages for book 11.
So much text still, like why?
Couple of texts. The internet rules. Kaputniks.
Is she Russian?
But anyway, yes, my mother
Is
and I
Silvana?
need a lot more money, please. So
Is
please
Silvana
donate
Roach your
to the
Russian?
link below. No less than $1. No change. We want dollar amounts. And definitely from each person the recommended amount that the link suggests. Please, please, please. We need the money for more food. Another week and a half to go. Oh my God. And sorbet. The vet bill was $160. Anyway, please help us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
In response, several followers donated amounts of less than $1 to Chris. As a consequence, Chris made another video to reiterate her original plea.
I said nothing under $1 in donations. No donations less than $1. We need nothing.
You only get one dirty penny, and that's far more than what a fake trans autistic child like you deserves. So there.
As a consequence, Chris made another video to reiterate her original plea.
I said nothing under $1 in donations. No donations less than $1. We need the money. Tell Mom.
Sure you do. I'm pretty sure
We
you do.
need the money. And what do we need it for? For food. And you've been needing a lot of... I told you, I reminded you that you need a lot of the shakes. Yeah. Anyway, tell them. No donations less than $1.
No
donations less than $1. USA. Thank you very much.
Girl.
Some viewers felt that Christine's behavior towards Barbara would be considered elder abuse and made their feelings publicly known to her. Chris deleted the video soon after, but it was downloaded by Christorians and re-uploaded onto YouTube again.
Naturally.
On May 29th, Christine offered a video update on her cat, Sorbet.
Hi, Sorbet. Breathing okay? No.
Not even your cat's safe.
Oh, bless you. That might be cute, though. Oh, okay. Well, try. Let you go then.
On the final day of May, Chris posted a work of fan art of a fictitious cover for Sonichu issue 13, said to be a crossover of Sonichu characters and characters from the Planet Stone conglomerate of YouTube channels.
Oh, Jesus
Also on
Christ.
that day, she notified her followers that she was
Stealing
planning on
more
posting
characters?
completed Sonichu pages on Patreon, made available only to paying patrons, and would only make them available to the public once the comic book was completed. Chris proceeded to upload freshly finished pages of issue 11 on Patreon, though one of the paying patrons was in fact a spy from Kiwi Farms, who then made the pages public. On June 3rd, she posted a drawing of herself in her pony persona form.
Oh, hell
Nightstar.
no.
2 days later, she asked on Facebook if people would be interested in seeing the drawings of the comic book.
Okay, she must have changed the thing, like, making, because she used to, like, make it so that, like, ponies didn't exist in the Sonichu universe. I guess they do now.
Books. She determined to show them off if her post received 1,000 positive reactions. On June 7th, she offered a video update concerning the progress of her comic book.
Currently the previews are at the cover
She still
of page
somehow
61.
hasn't gotten better
We're
at
up to
drawing.
about page 65 or 6 right now in the book. And yes, I finally got my own complete collection of my own books, printed well by my publisher. And also through Patreon. This will pretty much be the only way at the moment to get copies of my book, including those beyond book 4. I'm trying to... Alright. Let's see what else. Thinking.
Especially book 8.
My big Sachi binders.
Jesus.
3 of them now, counting the one with all the cards. And my own Pogs.
Pogs?
Anyway, that's a whole lot of crazy artwork. Actually, there's a 4th book, but that'll be a separate volume because that is X-rated.
Oh.
Anyway, volumes of my art book.
Yeah,
Art binder, art books, illustrations. Let me see what else. Anything else? I'm still thinking and processing and possibly further developments, actual, and trying to keep the haters out of the loop about that. So there. It's all good. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Oh, okay.
On June 11th, Christine apologized on Facebook for failing to reply to many business inquiries and fan questions, stating that she needed a team of representatives to keep up with all incoming queries. She then sent out the message that if any fans were capable and willing to make better Sonichu fan art, fan fiction, or games, she would allow them to do so freely and would consider it as official Sonichu merchandise. She gave guidelines for the stories that creators should follow, such as adhering to the characters she created and maintaining content fit for a 7-year-old. She apologized for expressing hate for past fan art and once again supported the idea of fan-created Sonichu media before she could make it officially herself.
Dang.
On June 12th, Chris appeared at a remembrance ceremony held at the University of Virginia in honor of the people who died at the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. She brought with her Sonichu medallion, a drawing showing solidarity for the SLGBTQ community, the photoshopped family photograph of the Chandlers and her characters set in a photo frame, and a handwritten poetic letter and drawing, which she recited in front of the attendees. The local NBC News station was at the event and featured Christine expressing her opinions.
The University of Virginia community is also honoring the victims of that mass shooting from 1 year ago. New tonight, the student body of UVA hosted a memorial service to honor the 49 victims who lost their lives in Orlando, Florida. This all unfolded on the steps of the rotunda along University Avenue. The 2-hour-long event included an opportunity for people to create art and share their tributes.
Do not hate. Hate is not so good. And to be paranoid is a bust. Feel the love that comes from us, and try to feel love that you can offer, at least from within yourselves, for yourselves.
People also read the names of those killed out loud during the ceremony. The event helped to promote equality and diversity.
Damn, it's crazy.
Later that day, Chris live-streamed herself reciting the poetic letter, which she had read out at the memorial service. Unfortunately, she failed to notice that her microphone had been disabled and did not capture any part of her recitation.
No.
Her letter read in part, I feel for y'all, my friends, family, and allies in this lifetime of ours. Lost and confused is this point of our lives where we are meant to be. Where do we belong in our local communities? With minds gone blank like fully erased paper, we are left with the remnants of what we had thought of before impulsively lost in time. I, too, was there during the times y'all were bullied, broken, and beat up bad. The times we've sought for new friendships to later, maybe, find truest love from one within. Soon enough, we not only have found ourselves, but we three, child, teen, and adult, combined, worked out our ideas. Taking our time, we continue onward in our life from how we were born, towards who we are meant to be this whole lifetime. I will continue onward, the stronger soul, woman, that we are. For being boy was a lingering downfall. Someday, I will find our destined sweetheart, its truest love, while feeling the love from within, from child, from teen, from me. Upon realizing that she failed to record audio, Chris deleted it from her YouTube account. On June 14th, she made a video addressing the issue of some of her patrons leaking Sonichu pages to the public.
It has been brought to my attention that apparently those who have made the contribution to Patreon are abusing their privilege and leaking the pages amongst the internet that I put up there. So, let's not do that, okay? That's not cool. That's like movie pirating. You don't steal a woman's purse. You don't steal anybody's cell phone. So, don't steal the pages.
Okay.
Alright? Be legit, be honest, be loyal. I believe in the kindness of people.
How? Okay.
So, as soon as Book 11 is ready, I send copies out to every Patreon that has been paying. And so on with Book 12, and 13, 14, so on and so forth. And I think that...
She always gotta wear the same fucking skirts every time. I mean, I know there's such thing as a washing machine, but I doubt that she fucking knows that, but whatever.
Just about covered for now, so until next video, be it Captain's Log or random stream, everybody, have a good safe day.
2 days later, Chris posted a short video featuring her mother, Barbara.
We are in need of
God. Every fucking video with Barbara just scares me, bro.
Please consider us. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
On June 20th, Christine shared a year-old Facebook post of her wishing her father a happy Father's Day, adding that she still missed him every day. Later on, she wrote a lengthy post regarding the ages of her characters. Simply put, it is inconsistent cartoon logic. Around the time I specified the main 8's ages in Book 8, I was under a lot of unwarranted questions about their bloody age in relation to the content/miscontent of what I drew and wrote beforehand. Ugh! I was still testing the waters of the story typings, parodies, what works/doesn't work. It is very common amongst the beginning book authors, even in televised cartoons and video games. I dare put unto you all, Ash Ketchum is still 10 years old, Sonic the Hedgehog is still 16 years old, and Stewie Griffin is still 1 year old, while during the Family Guy series, Megan has gone from 16 to 18 years old. Twilight Sparkle and the main 6 are teens to adults, while Celestia and Luna are like 1,000 years old. Even XJ9, Jenny, while built a few years prior,
Sigh
the mindset
and
is
grown.
teenager, sigh and grown. I feel the best way to answer this annoying question to everyone is to not think or overthink about it. We, the artists, creators, and writers, specify an age to our character, at least I feel, when it can be deemed warranted. We do not have to consistently celebrate birthdays or let our characters age canonically or not in our works. The obvious, simple, not to overthink, straight-up answer from all of us creators is, just take the characters' age, as we have given them, respectively. And in my case, the main 8 are more than 20 years old, may as well be over 21 now. Sarah, Christine, and Roberta are teenagers, close to equal 17 years old. And Sandy and Zapina Rosejuice are in the 4th grade, despite Sandy being less than a year old, physically, but mentally equivalent to the typical 4th grader age. Once again, take each character's age at provided value, unless we later say different. Shut the f*** up. Ugh!
Okay.
On the final
I don't
page,
even know what that was
Christine
about,
uploaded the final pages of Sonichu issue 11 on her Patreon page, officially completing the comic 8 years after its inception.
Jeez.
The comic begins with a Sonichu Christmas special episode, set in December 2008. In the Sonichu family's home, little Christine, the Rosie, prepares for her elementary school theatrical performance of the nativity scene, while Rosie and her daughter Sarah bake cookies. In the rec room, Sonichu and his son Robbie hang stockings by the fireplace. In the kitchen, Sarah thanks her mother for letting some of her friends come over for the Christmas party and shows her that she made one cookie in the shape of a candle for her friend Kevin because he is Jewish. Sarah also made it vanilla flavor to keep the ingredients neutral to avoid an allergic reaction from other flavors. In preparation for an incoming snowstorm, Sonichu goes out to buy groceries and extra supplies, while Christine recites Mary's song from the Gospel according to Luke 146.5 to 55 in preparation for her play. The next day, it is announced that Ann Weston Elementary School would be closed on account of the storm, so the children would stay home for the time being. Sonichu then goes out to work through the chimney because the doors of the house are blocked with snow. He then uses his powers of super speed to clear the surroundings of snow. Over the coming days, Robbie plays games on the Nintendo Wii and watches Christmas cartoons. Sarah continues to rehearse her lines for her school performance, and their mother, Rosechu, frantically cleans the house. One day during a playdate at the boy Kevin's house, Sarah plays the combat video game Call of Duty World at War with him. She becomes too embroiled in the action and in a reckless move causes Kevin's character to die, which upsets him. Sarah tells him to not get so attached to a set of digital pixels, but he states that he spent over a whole month leveling up and learning the Treadin, preparing for his first war game, only to be quickly killed by Sarah's arrogant actions. To comfort him, she offers him the cookie she baked in the shape of a candle. Kevin looks at the candle's flame and is reminded of the explosion which killed him. He slaps it out of her hand and smashes it to pieces against the TV.
My God.
He runs upstairs crying, while Sarah realizes that she has hurt him and decides it best to leave. Later in Sarah's room, she has a telepathic conversation with Magi-chan, who comforts her, but lets her know that she and Kevin will most likely not retain their fondness for each other, and tells her that she should do something to make up for her actions. 2 days later, while out shopping, Sonichu and Robbie come across a crying woman who tells them that she lost her job and was then evicted because she could not pay rent. Robbie bursts out that her story was distressing and would also feel the same way if that happened to him. Sonichu apologizes for his son, clarifying that he is very caring and empathetic. They call for a taxi for her that would bring her to a nearby soup hotel where she could stay.
Sweet.
Meanwhile, while Blake and Bubbles are out together, Enos, the homeless Jamaican drug addict, wishes Blake a happy Kwanzaa. He is angered by once again being mistaken for an African-American. Bubbles calms him down.
What?
The book then flashes back to August, referring to the time when Simona Rosechu was presumed to have died from an explosion conducted by the Astropedia 4. The doctors at the time are amazed to see that she is coming back to life. Later, doctors find that her skeletal structure is made of cymidanium, an incredibly strong metal, which also runs in her blood and organs, meaning that she can regenerate her own organs and bones. She is instructed to spend more time resting and recovering. On December 15th, she is discharged from hospital and is reunited with her husband, Wild Sonichu, and their daughter, Sandy. Meanwhile, in the mountains, Magi-chan and Sylvana Rosechu express their love for each other and acknowledge that Sylvana's former father figure, Count Graduan, would eventually return, but she has been learning to break free from his teachings. They then kiss and express their intentions to fornicate. Later that same night, during the school nativity play, Christine feels something happening to her and rushes backstage. Sonichu and Rosechu take note and get ready to come to her aid, when Christine text messages Rosechu, telling her that she is evolving into her final form and that she needs new clothes. Rosechu instructs Sonichu to run home and bring their daughter a change of clothes. 1 minute later, Rosechu and her 2 other children come to Christine's dressing room. Christine tells her family that she evolved and had a huge growth spurt, which caused her clothes to be ripped apart. Rosechu tells her to keep a happy thought and sing something. The mother and daughter then sing I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman by Britney Spears together on either side of the door.
What the hell?
Sonichu then comes back with new clothes. Christine changes into her new outfit and comes out on stage just in time to sing her song with confidence. As her parents admire her performance, Sarah and Kevin discuss what happened at their playdate. She apologizes for blowing up his in-game character and offers him 3 cookies she baked in the shape of dreidels. Kevin explains that he learned to appreciate teamwork and that her aggressive and rash actions made him dislike her. He thanks her for being his friend and playmate and hopes that she can grow up and mature more. Sarah cries, and her brother Robbie comes to comfort her. The family soon reunite as a whole and drive back home. On Christmas Day, all the Sonichus gather around the large Christmas tree in the Quickflow shopping center to exchange gifts and embrace each other romantically. Simona remarks that she hasn't seen Christian lately and asks about him. Rosechu tells her that since he came back from the future, he, or rather she, has been adjusting from the future shock. Rosechu goes on to explain in depth how in 2014, Christian realized that his soul was female and so changed her pronouns, her name, and began the process of physical transformation as well, all the while continuing to be attracted to women. After their past, Christian returned from 2015. He started to readjust, and by October, had finally realized her true self. Sonichu adds that the news blew him away too, and had come to regret his past ill words against the gays. He says he was mostly upset with trolls and bullies for their mislabelings of him and Chris, and acknowledged that he has no ill will towards the gays, and that there was nothing wrong with what they did, though he never found any interest in their actions. With Christine becoming part of the LGBTQ communities, Sonichu and Rosechu have learned to be more accepting and supportive, and even hired their next-door lesbian neighbor to be their babysitter, solely on the basis of her work credentials. All the Sonichus and Rosechus agreed to go to Christine's house to cheer her up, since she had been in seclusion, mentally recovering. The next panels show photos of Christine playing herself, incorporated into the comics. The Sonichus welcome her back and state that they have missed her. Blake approaches Chris and compliments her bust. She thanks him, but states that she was not interested in any of his advances. Blake clarifies that he was quite surprised by her appearance. They then all pose for a photo, featuring all the main Sonichu characters, her parents Barbara and Bob, and her transformer car, Sonchu. The scene then switches to December 17th, 2008, at a dig site in Virginia, where Simonchu is digging underground looking for fossils while repeatedly getting blown up by Voltorps, a type of Pokemon. The readers are then reminded that in August, he had aided in the killing of Simonla, his sister. Meanwhile, Simonchu receives an email from his sister, writing that she had made a full recovery, and that he was welcome to visit any time. He decides to head on over. The scene once again flashes back to the modified ending of issue 10, wherein the Asperpedia 4 are condemned to live the rest of their lives in the Amish community, devoid of modern technology. Part of the sentence was that all the Pokemon they had trained, including Simonchu, were to be released after being rehabilitated. He was warned by Wild to never come near their family again. Back on December 18th, Simonchu comes to Simonla's house. She welcomes him in, while Simonla's daughter Sandy comes back home. She yells to her mother to get away from that male, but Simonla demands her to apologize to Uncle Simon. Wild Sonichu then also comes back home and reacts in hate at Simonchu's sight, pulling out a vine and whipping him with it.
Pronounce the name as Seaman? Come on.
While Simonla calls for them to stop the madness. She explains to her family that her brother was a victim of circumstance and forgives him for what he did, and she expects her husband and daughter to forgive him as well. During the family reunion dinner, Simonchu explains how he was captured by Evan Christopher George and trained to carry out his and his cohort's evil deeds. He then reflects how after he was released, he took an interest to geology and collecting fossils. Sandy offers to bring the mystery fossil her uncle brought with him to the Quickville Museum. Christine Chandler interjects as the narrator to apologize for failing to title the episode beforehand. She also adds that the story is derived from a script given to her by her Facebook friend and financial contributor, William Elliott Waterman, but she had taken some liberties with the story and altered it to add more details. Episode 23, Simonchu and Banana Fungal, formally begins in Quickville Museum, where Simonchu and his niece submit the unknown fossil sample for research to a yet-to-be-introduced blue rose shit up as she draws it. 15 minutes later, the researcher comes back to tell them that the fossil is a newly discovered Pokemon, which had been revived and then given back to them within a Pokeball. It was dubbed Bananasaur. Simonchu opens the Pokeball to release the small green dinosaur-like Pokemon, which could only speak gibberish. From far away, Punchy Sonichu could hear and comprehend the Bananasaur's thoughts and rushes to meet him and his keepers in the museum. The Pokemon and Punchy communicate with each other telepathically and bond over their shared love of the rock band AC/DC. At Simonchu's request, Punchy agrees to take care of him since he seems to be the only one able to understand him. He feeds the Bananasaur a strawberry-flavored Pocky, and then it suddenly evolves into its next evolutionary stage, a larger, yellow, banana-shaped creature called Bananasauros. Punchy brings him home and introduces him to his girlfriend, Layla Flaffy. She then calls Punchy over to the kitchen to discuss the uninvited guest privately, angered by his sudden appearance, as she is not ready to accommodate him. She begrudgingly accepts to try to cope with the Bananasauros, but claims she will leave him if it becomes too much to bear. Punchy and his Pokemon then bond over some video games. Later at the daycare center, Punchy encourages the Bananasauros to mate with the Pokemon Ditto, which then shapeshifts to appear like a Bananasauros. About an hour after ferocious intercourse, the Ditto lays 2 eggs. On another day, the 2 Sauros daycare center, Punchy encourages the Bananasauros to mate with the Pokemon Ditto, which then shapeshifts to appear like a Bananasauros. About an hour after ferocious intercourse, the Ditto lays 2 eggs. On another day, the 2 practice fighting at Bobby's Ocean, but Bananasauros
see the ferocious intercourse.
He then whips out a skateboard, and they have one final match, which results in both of them needing to be hospitalized. On December 22nd, they come back home to find that Layla had packed her suitcase and is ready to move out. She says that she had unfriended him on Facebook and never wants to see him again.
No!
But she accepts her words as she punches Bananasauros in the face on her way out, calling him bruised and unfruitful. Christine interjects once again to inform the viewers that time was short to complete the episode, so she offers a brief summary of what happens next. Layla goes to stay with a temporary caregiving trainer, William Faulkner, as the Bananasauros gets too comfortable living in Punchy's house, playing video games all day and not cleaning up after himself. Luckily for Punchy, the banana Pokemon is soon given the job of cleaning and maintaining the dojo. Then, Magichan interrupts the narrative to inform the reader that he had been busy collecting Sonichites and Rosechites, a newly introduced item based on the Mega Stones from Pokemon, which could temporarily induce evolutions of the electric hedgehog Pokemon into their Mega forms. Also, a spot of havoc was averted at the SLGBTQ Pride Festival in 2009.
Jeez.
In the behind-the-scenes prologue of the next episode, Sylvana Rosechu is receiving a spa treatment. As she finishes, a stagehand informs her that she has 60 seconds before the film crew starts filming, as if the episode were to be recorded like a TV show. She then transforms into the guest star of the episode, Sonic the Hedgehog, whom she will be playing throughout episodes 24, Part 1, The Clip Show. On August 21st, 2009, Sonic meets Sonichu and Rosechu at Quickville Shopping Center. Sonichu and Sonic reminisce about recent happenings. Sonichu recounts an account of bullying experienced by his children Robbie and Sarah, and then their fight against the jerk-op. Sarah then suddenly evolved and grew in size, vowing not to wear skirts or
Sonic Zombie series by BloBer Productions is better than this.
Sonichu adds that a month or two after that event, Robbie came out as a lesbian soul and then evolved into Roberta, having fully transformed her body into that of a female, and has never felt happier or more confident. Christine Chandler then surprises both Sonichu and Sonic, and to convince Sonic that she was indeed the same person who created Sonichu, she transforms into her Christian Sonichu form. She explains to Sonic that this happened after Chris returned from his trip to 2015 and had Slowly Rhyme arrested. While still in his colossal Christian form, he ponders that he indeed felt more feminine in his high school years, and finally comes to terms that his soul was female. He then transforms into the female form of colossal Christian. After briefly admiring herself in the mirror, the energies of the Sonichu crystals, which caused her to transform into her current state, then escape her body and sync with the energies which had departed Sonichu earlier, and emerge in the moonlight. The combination of energies creates crystals, and then they all shatter and fall to the earth in millions of pieces. Chris returns to her female Christian Sonichu form and finds one of the shattered crystals, or the Sonichite, on the ground.
What the
Meanwhile,
fuck?
Sonichu and Rosechu watch the explosion in the sky, and then pick up Sonichites, which fell to the ground. They suddenly evolve into their Ultra Sonichu and Incredible Lioness forms, respectively. Their powers soon wear off, and they return to normal. Christine recounts that Magichan has been collecting all the unique Sonichites meant for each individual Sonichu and Rosechu, and now the Sonichus have been sewn into their socks, and the Rosechus have been put into their barrels. They would be used as a last resort to transform into their unique mega forms. Christine then gets a call from her father, who wants her to go buy some TV dinners and soup. Sonichu and Sonic discuss meeting up again soon, at which point Sonichu will talk about the wedding. The comic concludes with a vow for the story to be continued.
I mean, it's always been like that in Sonic.
On July 3rd, Christine shared a photo of one of her favorite works of fan art, encouraging her that her sweetheart was out there somewhere. The photo also revealed that Chris kept printed versions of private Facebook messages from at least her friend, Jessica Quinn.
What
On
the
4th,
hell?
Chris wished her Facebook followers a happy Independence Day, sharing an altered page from her latest Sonichu comic. 2 days later, she wrote that she cooked a hot hamburger plate with mashed potatoes and gravy, inspired by the work of her late father's old friend, Tony, and posted a photo of it.
Damn.
However, QB Farms user Lucas Wolf looked up the term hot hamburger plate on Google and found the image Chris used to be the first result of the image search. On July 7th, she posted another Captain's Log video asking about sponsorships.
Just a short update today because what else? We're up to page 14 in book 12. Although it's not totally covered, those are not totally covered in yet. We're up to page 8 on the coloring process, and those pages will be uploaded onto my Patreon on due time on Sunday.
Right.
Anyway, so another thought I had. I often use and enjoy using this Crayola super tip markers. I was thinking, I'm wondering, do artists sometimes take sponsorships? Because if Crayola's hiring and accepting us to be their sponsors, then I highly would endorse the Crayola products. I do enjoy coloring with the Crayola super tip markers, especially
Crayola's main,
and I miss those 12.
Crayola's target audience is usually children, and knowing your history, I don't think they would want to do that. I don't know. I don't think it'll be right.
Let's set 12 fun-scented markers. Well, just a thought I had, so that's going to be pretty much it for this week's Captain's Log. I'll check in a week or two with another update. Have a good, safe day, everyone. Thank you for your patronage.
She later expanded on her message in a Facebook post. Seriously, I could do a commercial for Crayola, rather just to add color to your day, or just keeping it all inside the drawn lines. Hashtag Crayola rocks for artists of all ages. On July 8th, Chris commented on Twitter that after reading Sonichu issue 0 for the first time in many years and comparing it with her latest comic, she realized how much her artistry had improved. She also made note of some spelling mistakes she had made back in 2004, but she did not overall regret making the books. It was at around this time that Christine began pledging $25 per month to artist and voiceover actress Doopy Doover's Patreon page. As a reward for her patronage, she could request a custom black and white illustration. Chris had asked Doopy to draw Rosechu, which she did, later thanking her for it, calling the artist Darling. 2 days later, Doopy wrote on Twitter that she was working on icon commissions from fans, live on the streaming site, Twitch. Christine simply replied, "Thank you, Doopy, darling," close parentheses. Not long after, Doopy complained about seeing her father when she looked at herself in the mirror. Chris replied that when she looked at herself, she saw herself who loved her, and suggested that Doopy look at herself from a different perspective, ending with calling her cutie. The next day, in response to Doopy declaring that she deserved $1 million, Chris responded that she did too, because she worked a lot around the home and caretaking her mother and also her dad, in addition to the emotional pains. It was also on that day that Christine wrote of experiencing a painful few days, only to learn that she had just passed her first kidney stone. On July 11th, in response to Doopy Doover receiving criticism over drawn pornographic imagery of 16-year-old computer graphic Japanese singer Hatsune Miku, Chris wrote that she supported her, calling her a darling sweet soul and a great artist.
Yeah, of course.
In response to Doopy Doover seemingly brushing aside Christine's past bad actions because Chris complimented her, Twitter user The Smallest Mage wrote an extended message telling Doopy that Chris's kind words were merely a facade and that she should be more careful about what she said about Chris before she got mistreated like her other gal pals. The Smallest Mage advised Doopy to read up on Chris's history on the Quickie and encouraged her to not make a fool of herself by making an awful person feel better about themselves. Doopy responded with a similarly lengthed reply, stating that she had been following Chris-chan since the beginning, and despite all the bad she had done, she found the trolls to be just as bad as Chris. Doopy admitted that her kind words may be fake at the show, as she was not emotionally invested in their interactions enough to care. Since Chris was a paying patron and had hired her to do a commission, Doopy showed her the same amount of respect she would to any of her other commissioners or patrons. Doopy wished for people to keep the matter to themselves, and assured her critic that she was a big girl who could handle the situation. In response, Christine wrote a string of tweets. Honestly, how dare you put past errors that I do intend to remedy as soon as humanly possible, albeit within my own financial restrictions. I never intended to scam anyone, so that part of your textual message is BS. And in the years ago, for the latter, I was naive for a number of things. Even that was reflected in my previous Sonichu books, as I was testing the woodwork, seeing what works and what don't. I actually matured mentally and emotionally, and I've gained more and better wisdom. I, personally, prefer not to address trolls, such as yourself, add to the Smallest Mage. But when one unnecessarily and constantly attacks an innocent person with such outdated trash, then I feel need to step in. In other words, trolling stupid. Quit assuming the worst about me or anyone. All you are doing from that is making an ass of yourself. Add to the Smallest Mage. I will not warn you again. Leave the people I talk with alone. Good day. Members of the QB forums then uncovered and publicized the smallest mage's full name, home address, and other social media profiles, which prompted the user to delete his Twitter account.
Oh, damn.
As Christine continued to interact with GB2 over, she failed to see how she was nothing more than another one of her many supporters, hoping against hope to strengthen their relationship, or perhaps advance it further to the next level. She would soon find out that hope can sometimes be a foolish thing.
God. The LV. I barely paid attention to that. I'm really fucking tired. Even though it's 9:22. I definitely thought the S she added in SLGBTQ was going to be for Sonetry. That's what I thought, honestly. 55 episodes later, and we still don't know what made him this way and what the attraction is. Love how Chris has been drawing basically one character for 25 years, and it still looks like a 9-year-old crayon, too. This PS4 music is gonna make me become the Joker, literally. Just a reminder, Chris is legally allowed to have pets and got a kid's pet cat euthanized because it scratched him. Then immediately assumed both the kid and her grandfather had something against Chris. Sorbet deserved infinitely better, and his story made me cry. Chris shouldn't be allowed to own a pet. It really makes me mad. And please don't after Chris said she can eventually bear a child was powerful. Nothing under $1. In response, several people donated less than $1. Now that's some classic trolling. Gotten to the point where Chris stopped being a fascinating curiosity and now just makes me uncontrollably angry. Same. Trolls donate less than $1. I said no lower than $1. I'm getting my mom. Mom, tell him. Chris Chen, age 36. Nothing makes me want to punch someone more than Chris begging with his please, please. Like a toddler who just figured out the word. Annoying but also gross. You know for a fact he does that shit on camera because that's how he got whatever he wanted from his parents for most of his life. He had a bob and barb wrapped around his finger. And he ended up getting barb really wrapped around his finger. Never mind. I'm just gonna move on. 100% Barbara lost all her weight because Chris was only feeding her meal replacement shakes for every meal. Jesus. Remember, this all started because the teacher wouldn't just let him use Sonic. I feel like everyone who has watched the saga in its entirety has earned the right to punch Chris at least once. Please, please. I can't fucking... Chris, being paranoid is a bust. Also, Chris, everyone is conspiring against me, so I wrote a comic about it. Please don't. Here's Sorbet. He's doing okay. Picks up a seriously damaged cat that can barely breathe, literally. I always hate how Chris types out his sighs and groans like we don't hear them enough already. God, that close-up of Sorbet struggling to breathe has me teary-eyed. Poor baby. Such horrid hands to be given back to and nursed back to health by. Should have been given to someone who could competently nurse an injured cat. Those poor fucking cats and dogs, man. Living in a house-sized trash can neglected. They let their cats wander aimlessly outside but can't even take the dogs outside to use the bathroom. How they had been barred from having pets is beyond me. They really should. They're terrible. My biggest fantasy is to have Gina hold me close to him and whisper into my ear. Ugh. I miss the days of Liquid Chris and a Pickle Man. Now it's just sad. I know. At least those were somewhat entertaining. Now that's just fucking annoying and depressing. Anyways, let's go to part 56.
On July 13th, 2017, in response to Planet's Stolen creator, Ladybot, writing on Twitter of her want to spend all her time with her friends, Christine replied that she sent lots of love back at her. Twitter user James R. Landau then replied to them, linking to the YouTube video of Chris pepper spraying the GameStop employee in 2014. Chris left a reply. You can go fuck off. Quit trolling people with past, outdated BS. The next day, she uploaded a video on YouTube in which she reviews sour candy.
Hello, everybody. This is Christine Chandler coming to you live from Hogwarts Gambit. Something really completely different. I present
Not something completely different.
If you're going to try this or a similar candy, soda with fizzy outer type coating that makes it fizz like soda in your mouth. Look at the image. Get the camera.
That looks fun.
It's good, but for a while, it's quite sour.
This is not the PlayStation.
This is a live reaction.
I just always noticed the lack of PlayStation music in some of her videos. That's not just me, right? Okay. That fucking noise in her video is killing me.
Don't go, or makes me put my fist up in impulse. I'm not going to hit anything. Damn, that's sour. Don't feel it.
This was followed by a new captain's log.
Why'd you leave the front door? Oh, girl.
Start date
What a dumbass.
0714-2017. 747. There's a 747 flying overhead. Anyway, now, y'all will remember, my recent post where Roberta does a Sonic rainbow. Kaboom. Big boom. But pretty much now is the only page, that a few ahead where I actually added the rainbow. So I'm catching up on all the remaining pages, and about 5 pages to go, and I have to do all the rainbow work first. So you know how hard that is? Because I'm doing it one marker at a time. I've separated, and that's counting the additional colors, gray for the soles of the shoes, black for the ears and whatnot, the skin tone. For everything else, that's about Roberta's side shoe. So I am doing quite a bit of dedicated work, coloring rainbows.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just let y'all know what I'm doing right now. And I thank y'all for your patience, and hopefully I'll have these pages uploaded onto my Patreon Sunday or Monday. Y'all have a good, safe day. Thank you.
On July 15th, Christine wrote a reply to a tweet from My Little Pony voice actress, Tara Strong, that she believed that there existed a dimension of Equestria, such as was depicted in the TV show, and thought that there would come a day when people and the ponies could meet.
Are you
On
kidding?
the 19th, Chris commissioned voice actress and illustrator Doobie Doover $25 to make her a new profile picture of herself. Doobie provided two versions, one of Christine with glasses and one without.
Okay, so she wasn't the one that made that art
and
piece,
used it as a
okay.
profile avatar for Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. She also printed it out and hung it on the wall in her room. On July 22nd, Chris went to Twitter to encourage donations of around $50 as her family was in need of financial help. The next day, Chris became Facebook friends with Doobie Doover. It was soon uncovered that the account was likely the creation of a troll pretending to be Doobie, as the account was deactivated shortly after.
Oh.
On August 1st, Doobie wrote that she kept experiencing panic attacks. Chris suggested some medication which had personally helped her. Also on that day, Christine became a patron for two more pages, Planet Dolan, which Doobie was a part of, and Kitten Bell, the account Doobie used to create pornographic illustrations.
Oh, that's fun.
In response to a collage of nude drawings on the page, Chris left her a suggestion. I enjoy your drawing style, despite the content. I have an idea for the next one, or future one, for your Kitten Bell, Final Scratch, and Octavia, humans, being on each other. Maybe they're both sitting up, making out, and fondling/fingering.
Oh, geez,
Put on a jam
okay.
and boombox, playing some dubba/cello mix.
What?
Later again, Christine wrote a tweet to celebrate National Girlfriend Day and tagged several voice actresses and creators, mostly those involved with My Little Pony or Planet Dolan, which included Doobie. She replied to Chris, simply writing, "You don't know me, Christine."
Oh.
Chris then replied, "Yes, I don't totally know you, but you are a good person, like all I've listed here. Y'all are girls, and at least acquaintances up to friends, and that, to me, counts as much, because I'm thankful to have you all in my life and communication circle.
I
Also,
hate the way she
another VI
tweets.
detail, I care, and I wear my heart on my sleeve." Doobie advised her against doing so, to which Chris wrote that she likes to care for others as well as herself, and quoted her favorite pin, which stated, "Caring people make a difference." Doobie told Chris that if she wore her heart on her sleeve, she would set herself up for disappointment. Doobie added further that Chris had made that mistake many times in the past, and that it was unhealthy and worrisome, so she should instead focus on herself. Chris replied that if she focused on herself all the time, then she would not be able to share her kindness and make many friends. Doobie responded by writing that she did not appreciate Chris's use of emojis and pet names, and did not agree with Chris supporting her on Patreon when her mother, Barbara, was sick and needed money. She further wrote that she did not appreciate receiving personal emails on her business account, finding it extremely creepy. She added that she wanted to refund the money, as Barbara deserved it. Chris urged her to keep the pledges, as the Chandlers would be financially stable after receiving the payments from her own Patreon page. She wrote that the previous month, her biggest spend was buying a complete printed set of Sonichu comics for her friend from the Pokemon League as a birthday present. Another Twitter user told Doobie Doover that Christine would not listen to her reasoning, and said that Chris might let her mother die because she prioritized toys and emotional validation. Chris rejected those claims, and blocked and reported to the user. A different commenter told the artist that Chris would not give 1 cent to her mother. Chris rebutted, saying she had just bought her mother a lot of groceries. She went to Doobie's business email and sent her a message privately to discuss the matter. "Please, keep the $50. I wanted to help you a little better. Plus, I did want to get a shirt. I did not realize that was a business part, and I did not intend to come off as creepy. Believe me, I know that feeling from a crazy fan, and what else? Plus, I learned years ago about what from me came off as creepy, and I tried to avoid those things. Second, this morning, after I awoke more from waking up after 2 a.m., I found Vin's tweet about hashtag National Girlfriends Day. I realized that while I still have yet to find my sweetheart, I did count y'all on Twitter as up to friends who are girls/women. I also counted my closet friends from Pokemon League, a couple of other gal pals, and one who likes me, but while I like her too, I still have not met her yet. She lives not far from me, so the feeling is not yet totally fulfilled. I was showing my appreciation for my blessing of my growing circle of friends, local and far. I did not mean for it to go crazy like I did. Anyhow, I'm guessing this email is not your business email, but if it is, please correct me. I like talking with you from time to time, but not in anything beyond simple acquaintances to friendship. I'm still learning what is okay and what is not okay to do, and taking notes for future and present references. Keep a happy thought, darling. Sent from my iPhone. Stay safe. Christine W. Chandler." Doobie wrote back that while she appreciated Christine's kindness, it had caused her a lot of problems. She intended to refund the pledges and let Chris use the money to buy a shirt from her online store. She added that she could not accept her patronage anymore, and would appreciate if Chris did not tweet publicly at her for both of their sakes.
Fair enough.
On August 2nd, Christine made a video addressing the harassment the two have been receiving on Twitter ever since their public falling out.
Let's crap for a moment. Okay? Because you're harassing other people. And it's at my expense. I do not appreciate that. If you want to harass somebody about me, talk bad about me, you have to send that harassment directly to me. No one else. I will not have my friends and allies be disturbed so abruptly.
So if it wasn't just directly at you, would you care?
So, don't harass this person. Don't harass that person. You want to talk smack about me? You talk directly to me.
Okay,
Do you
0.5,
understand?
I see you.
And don't ever let me catch you talking about me to anyone else on anyone else's timelines, comment sections, Twitter, or wherever. That's outside of your own goddamn forum, you trolls. Don't ever let me catch you bad-mouthing me to anyone, harassing them at my expense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand me? You better damn well understand me.
Oh, I fully understand.
She simultaneously went to Twitter to launch and promote the hashtag #HarassQuick directly, hoping to draw the ire of trolls to herself instead of to be do-over.
Girl.
She also reiterated the proper use of feminine pronouns when trolls referred to her. She accompanied her posts with drawings of Planet Stone characters, all angrily declaring hashtag don't harass me, with only Christine and 2 iconographs of eyes within hearts, stating hashtag #HarassQuick directly. Chris's drawn avatar.
Why the fuck does that look like a Nazi thing? Why do they all look like Nazis wearing those freaking armbands, bro?
Had the hearted eye planted on her forehead, while all the Planet Stone characters wore armbands displaying the eye symbol. She encouraged people who did not like seeing other people harassed at their expense to use the illustration of the purple eye and heart as their Twitter profile picture. Soon after, Chris explained the meaning behind the symbol in a Patreon post. The icon is a combination of wearing one's heart on their sleeve and the ability to see the injustice of those who harass other people at one person's expense. And because we are linked together by having seen such injustice done to someone or another we care about, we will not let the trolls, bullies, and haters get away with harassing others at our expense. It was also at around that time that users of the QB forums noticed that Chris was no longer a patron of any of the Patreon accounts run by or associated with Doopy Do-Over. Chris then changed back all the profile pictures of her social media accounts which had used Doopy's illustration, reverting back to the previous pictures used. On August 3rd, My Little Pony voice actress Tabitha St. Germain, who was one of the people Chris had tagged in her National Girlfriend's Day tweet, replied to it, stating that she did not read the other replies she was tagged in and would block anyone participating in group slagging off. Christine apologized to her, taking the blame for causing everyone being harassed because of her. She made a string of tweets explaining the reasoning why she made the initial tweet and hoped that people did not think of her less because of her mistake. Tabitha added that if Chris was having a fight on Twitter with someone, she should untag those parties not involved. Chris replied that she would, calling the voice actress darling. Her reply drew the ire of several Christian followers on Twitter, writing to her that she still failed to learn her lesson about calling strangers by endearing pet names and getting too close to them. Chris replied to each one of them with insults, using the slurs uncouth and cat several times, likely inspired by the manner of speaking of St. Germain's My Little Pony character, Rarity. Chris then moved on to a tweet from voice actress Tara Strong, making reference to actress Melissa Joan Hart, with whom she would be working. Chris expressed her surprise at the two working together, commenting that she liked Melissa. Meanwhile, Chris continued to reply to tweets insulting or making fun of her with quips and insults directed back at the trolls.
Fuck you.
On August 4th, Christine wrote an update on Patreon regarding uploads of new
She's such pages. A child, I'm sorry.
My most sincere apologies, everyone, but with the recent stresses of some people harassing people I liked, not harassing them, just a few thoughtful tweets now and then, towards a genuine friendship. I was never expecting sex, you uncouth twats, who ruin nearly everything. Got distracted drawing the icon set for the friends/family of one who was most affected with the trolls' harassment at my expense. Again, you got something to say against me. You tell it only to me, and nobody else, outside of your private forums. Definitely nowhere else on Twitter, other than directly to me, Miss Christine Weston Chandler. I am she, and I like men, as I like heavy metal music. I do not like heavy metal music. Hardly a real beat or tune, and the lyrics are incoherent. Sigh.
I don't know, they're more creative than your shit.
Of violating the personal space of women, and that she should admit that the way to be acted towards her was not solely caused by troll actions. Christine replied that she knew that, adding that she had learned from her past errors and mistakes, and that she did not violate women's personal space. She felt that Doopy liked her kindness, while she was recovering from the harassment from all the trolls and bullies, who, according to her, ruined nearly everything. On the 5th, Karen Riley, notable member of the QB forums who had interacted with Chris in the past, wrote on Twitter that Doopy was not her friend as she had specifically said. Chris disagreed, stating that they were not close yet, and that the phrase, I am not your friend, was never written by
She
Doopy.
literally told you that.
Herself, then came to reply to Chris. I can't believe I had to unblock you to tell you this. I'm not your friend. I'm not ever interested in being your friend. Leave me alone. You were specifically a customer to me, and you took it too far. You creeped me out. Now please don't talk to or about me ever again.
Exactly.
Afterwards, Chris sent a direct message to Karen Riley, telling her that Karen was no angel herself, and that she should go back to the forums. Chris then blocked her on Twitter.
Interesting.
At around that time, Christine shared a profile picture that someone on Twitter allegedly made of her custom My Little Pony persona, Nightstar. This new user, who also used the handle @Nightstar2891, then proceeded to follow many accounts of My Little Pony voice actors and Planet Stone creators, including Doopy Do-Over. The user would also defend Chris in Twitter replies. Many observers suspected that it was an alternate account created by Christine to defend herself in public tweets and to follow the people who had blocked her original account.
Sock puppets.
On August 6th, Doopy created an account on QB forums and began linking private emails she received from Christine regarding sending her character descriptions as reference for her commission and her apology for tagging Doopy in the original National Girlfriend's Day tweet. Doopy also revealed that Doopy preferred to herself in public tweets and to follow the people who had blocked her original account. On August 6th, Doopy created an account on QB Forums and began linking private emails she received from Christine regarding sending her character descriptions as reference for her commission and her apology for tagging Doopy in the original National Girlfriend's Day tweet. Doopy also revealed an email Chris wrote in response to watching her video about things she didn't understand, writing that she believed in alternate dimensions where the characters they created continued to live their lives after their published stories are concluded. She added that she was also developing psychic powers through the listening of binaural beats and could bend paper with her mind waves, hoping to only strengthen her powers through daily practice so that she could use them for good, such as levitating herself to fly. Also on that day, Chris switched back to using Doopy's illustration as her profile picture. Suspecting that the Nightstar Twitter account belonged to Chris, QB Forums moderator and Quickie administrator Marvin direct-messaged Nightstar on Twitter, pretending to be an observer of Chris Chan, stating that since they shared so many distinct writing quirks with Chris, that it was statistically impossible that they were different people. Nightstar confided that she was not Chris, and was in fact a Miss E.S., and could possibly explain the similarities of writing style, because both she and Christine were well-read and eloquent. Miss E.S. further wrote that she grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and graduated with a degree in psychological arts from the University of Virginia, and currently worked at several McDonald's in the area. On occasion,
look at the
she
unnecessary details.
And found her to be a very kind and understanding person. Nightstar was so hurt that so many people misunderstood her intentions after the National Girlfriend's Day tweet. Miss E.S. wrote that she was into examining the mental state of others from what they drew, created, and the media they consumed. She felt that Marvin's persona was racially conscious and a little religious based on the media he shared on Twitter, and that he was as old-fashioned as Donald Trump. Marvin felt that if it were Chris behind the account, they could have been receiving help on the count of Nightstar using unusual terminology, like racially conscious. On August 7th, the Nightstar account messaged back Marvin's account with screen caps of Nightstar's messages with Christine's account. Chris told the alleged Miss E.S. to not talk with the trolls, but did not control her, and would not judge her on her bad actions, but her good deeds, like she did with Doopy. Chris elaborated to Nightstar on why Doopy felt uncomfortable with Chris, sharing screen caps of the posts Doopy wrote on QB Forums. As an aside, on August 1st at 3 a.m., Chris wanted to pledge $50 per month to her half-brother Cole Smithy's Patreon account, only to find that he had blocked her from contributing. Then she went to Doopy Do-Over's Patreon to try and raise her pledge amount from $25 to $50 for the month, but saw that her $25 pledge for August had already been collected and was unable to raise it. She then sent an extra $25 directly to Doopy, writing that by doing so, she could receive the benefits of the $50 tier. In reference to Doopy discussing the backlash she would be getting, Chris wrote that the artist found the backlash of being friends with Christine worse than being associated with the so-called damn uncouth trolling stupids. She wrote that she would have continued to be kind to Doopy as a friend, since she knew that Doopy had a boyfriend, because she had matured mentally and emotionally, and unlike the trolls claimed, Chris never expected sex. Upon researching the Twitter account's claims, members of the QB Forums saw that the top bar, Chris never expected sex. Upon researching the Twitter account's claims, members of the QB Forums saw that the top bars of the mobile screenshots provided by both Christine and Nightstar contained mobile carrier information and other active utilities that matched, and that both Twitter accounts were registered to phone numbers with matching final 2 digits. Also, when attempting to change the password of the Nightstar account, the confirmation email would be sent to an email address that was for the most part censored to those attempting to hack it. However, from the few characters that were shown, it was almost certainly confirmed to match a little-known email address found in a leaked email Chris had written to a gal pal in 2014, volcanoinsuranceidiot@yahoo.com.
The fuck?
Furthermore, the handle, Nightstar2891, contains Chris's year of birth, backwards. Publicly, when asked, the Nightstar2891 contains Chris's year of birth, backwards. Publicly, when asked, the Nightstar account denied that it was Christine. After persistent pestering,
so what?
Chimed in to
so what, Christine?
That she was not Nightstar 2891. On August 8th,
so what Christine did was not that clever.
International Cat Day. To dispel rumors, she then added that her other cat, Sorbet, was still alive and well. Soon after, she posted a photo of Sorbet sitting on her bed. The next day,
she does not look very well. She's dying.
The Nightstar Twitter account saw her at McDonald's that morning and came a run alive and well. Soon after, she posted a photo of Sorbet sitting on her bed.
One eye's still fucking dilated, and the other is completely blind at that point. Jesus.
The next day, Chris claimed that an Emily, who was allegedly responsible for the Nightstar Twitter account, saw her at McDonald's that morning and came a run-in because she was scared off from all the trolls and allegations that her Twitter account was run by Christine. Chris blamed the trolls for ruining nearly everything. In the meantime, Chris watched YouTube videos in an attempt to learn how to communicate with the dead, predict the future, and levitate.
You're kidding?
On August 11th, Chris wrote, "I'm sleepy as fuck, but falling asleep. I'm out of luck. Root-de-doot-de-doot." On that same day, in response to a Patreon comment criticizing Chris Chan Sonichu for having 2 quote-unquote tumors on his chest, Chris tweeted, "Take that batch of hay and put them in some apples. Eat your candles, dumbasses. My breasts are real. I am woman. Never tell me otherwise, haters. Here's a good thought. Cyberbullies are the tumors of humanity and the world. They should cut themselves out. I do not have tumors, dummies."
Damn. Yeah, that's fucking poetic as shit.
Also on August 11th, Chris arrived at the Baltimore Convention Center in Baltimore, Maryland for her 3-day stay at BronyCon, a convention focused on the My Little Pony franchise. According to QB Forums user Love You Long Time, the troll behind the Kim Wilson persona notified forum readers that Christine drove herself to Baltimore and was staying at a hotel with supposed lady friends. A Facebook friend wrote that she would be ready to assist Chris's mother Barbara if need be. Among the possessions which she brought with her were original copies of the Sonichu comics, snacks, and My Little Pony figurines. Many photographs of her were posted on Twitter and Facebook, mingling with other attendees, while prominently wearing pink feline ears and a strap-on unicorn horn.
Oh, okay.
On the first day, Chris met Kathy Wesseluk, a voice actress from the TV show, and posed for an autograph with her, with Kathy holding up a copy of Sonic
What the fuck?
which she had autographed. According to
No
Claire Porter,
fucking way.
a follower of Chris Chan whom she met at the convention, Chris talked to Kathy for close to 25 minutes, discussing topics involving Sonichu and Quickville. Claire added that the voice actress showed Chris friendship and support, albeit
Wait till she finds issue 8.
like a child. On the second day, she attended a panel discussion titled Keeping Friendship Magic, The Odd Pony Out. Afterwards, when asked for an autograph, Chris signed a piece of paper which purportedly stated that she relinquished her soul to the individual who asked for an autograph. The person who got it also covertly recorded audio of Christine's conversation with himself and another attendee discussing some recent pages from her comics.
And I'm on Patreon too. Later Patreon.
Okay.
Nothing much to Roberta's son.
The Rain Boom. You know we love a good Sonic Rain Boom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Hey,
I hope you have
believe in everybody and believe in you and believe in yourself. You'll be able to make your own Sonic Rain Boom.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, let's go with this demo, okay?
Yes.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you. I heard you'd be here, but I didn't know I'd meet anyone.
I was wondering, a selfie?
Oh, I'd love a selfie. But if I could get an autograph, I'd love that too.
I have to with my own pen.
Oh, you have your own? Another convention goer reported on their encounter with her on the My Little Pony forum on the image board site, 4chan. I played poker against her in the tournament, and she got really, really fucking mad when I accidentally called her him. I never cared to call someone by the shitty preferred gender, but fuck you got to give me some time to figure out what you fucking want to be called. It was a paired tournament, so we didn't have a choice who we played, and she can't play worth a shit, but she did manage to build off of idiots. She lost it all chasing though. I met her again at the gala, and she's been glaring at me. Lol.
Damn.
Another person more knowledgeable of her recounted their experience with meeting Chris. I found Christian at a panel and gained his trust. I asked him if his Sonichu medallion was authentic, and he said, I am the she that used to be that he that, and then quickly showed me the first edition of Sonichu. Then he shook my hand for some reason. Kristen met Kelly Sheridan, voice actress for the character Starlight Glimmer, who signed one of Chris's illustrations and took a photo with her, holding up a figure of the character she voiced, while Chris held up her customized figurine made to look like herself.
That's insane.
Chris was then spotted at Bronypalooza, a My Little Pony themed concert. She then made her way to the Grand Galloping Gala, a formal dance party. She was filmed conversing with some of the other convention attendees and posing for photos. After failing to find a dance partner, Kristen began seemingly dancing with an imaginary person, later claiming that she was dancing with her original character, Magichan Sonichu.
Oh my god.
She was also photographed sitting by herself, supposedly talking and reaching out to Magichan next to her. After the event concluded, Chris went back to her car to drive back to the hotel for the night. However, the parking lot where she parked has closed at midnight, and she was unable to enter. She resorted to using the ride-hailing service, Uber, to help her get back to her hotel. On the third and final day, Christine apparently shared a ride with other convention goers from the hotel to make their way back to BronyCon. She then attended a fan comic panel. A 4chan user posted a selfie he took with her and wrote of Chris's behavior. He's in the fan project panel now. He spent 3 minutes complaining about his trolls and how autistic he is, and he turned away the microphone so no one can hear what he's saying. Another unknown user elaborated on Chris's time at the panel. It was at the fan project panel, and he even asked a question and rambled on about how he had comics in the fandom, though never explicitly stating it was Sonichu. He even said the high-functioning autistic line. He also mentioned being trolled, not having many friends, and all that, and honestly felt kind of bad for him, though most of the shit he has gotten over the years was his own self-inflicted stupidity, so can't feel too bad for him.
True.
But yeah, that's been the weirdest thing at this convention by a long shot. Like, at most 5 to 10% of the thousands of people I've seen and heard were weird or cringy, but nearly everyone here is either normal or just standard nerds. But seeing and hearing Chris Chan, dear God, that was hard to deal with. Afterwards, she went to another panel featuring voice actors from the cartoon series and managed to ask them a question.
Y'all did answer my question. Start with, I like nice from that episode of My Little Pony. I did see ad-lib and it posted, so obviously to get opportunities to like, what ideal ad-lib would you like to contribute eventually in any show, including My Little Pony? And which ones have you done so far are your personal favorite? Not sure, I like fights. Is that a fish for all of us?
The day, she made a short tweet writing that she was on her way back home, allegedly riding alongside Magichan. When she got back, she wrote a Facebook post thanking everyone who attended the convention for all the love and kindness they showed for her, making it possible for her to shine as the actual kind and open-hearted person that she was. She stated that her time in BronyCon was the most love she had ever felt in her life. On August 14th, she made a captain's log for YouTube, addressing the convention while still wearing her cat ears and unicorn horn.
Captain's log. Stardate 08142017. The last weekend, BronyCon. Awesome, totally awesome. I had an awesome time. I met so many kind people. I found so much positivity and love. I made new friends and acquaintances in higher places. I've attended some panels and I learned a lot too. I have so many new lovely memories and ideas. I am so inspired. So, here's a little Twilight from the future that does a little bit about the future for Sonichu and me and everything. First off, Book 13, or as I'm going to call it, Book 12-9, which will round up to 13 because I don't like using 13. It's an unlucky number.
Now that bullshit.
Superstitious. Oh, future character reference since I came back from the future in number 10. Came back from the future. She comes back from the future. It works. Anyway, so first off, Book 12-9. I never wanted the 13th book, the book 13, to have newer character to do, and that happened. Oh well. It's all right. We'll put the eye patch back on and fix it up. And originally, the idea would have been like doing crossover. Wow, actually, in the Quickville universe, this has actually happened. But because due to difficulties with a most heartfelt tweet that I did recently that backfired on me, my heart was really into that. My heart has always been in the right place.
Has it?
Try to understand that, everybody. Okay? My brain's a little slow right now. I have so many ideas and everything. So much good news. Positivity.
Sounds fun.
Don't follow me. There you go. That is an awesome hill by itself in that size, by the way. It's so fluffy and cuddly. You don't need a jumbo floppo. You like this thing.
I'll get a jumbo.
Okay, that's another big announcement. I'll do
I'll get a jumbo Grogu here.
Maybe another certain Charlottesville convention that's coming up. And then I'll lose my train of thought again. Bear with me. I'll find it. I'll get back on the rails. What do you think is the next announcement, Fluffo? Really? Come on. You know better than that. You know better than that. Main event knows better than that. That's it. 59. Really?
Yeah, keep following on.
No script. This is good. There you go. I'm not going to make smarties.
You don't need a script when you're Chris Chan.
Go ahead and laugh. Now go ahead and laugh at that. My dogs are barking at something that's outside. Possibly, likely, nothing. I have to put up with it. It's my family. And here comes my mother with a thought that she's interrupting this live streaming video. So she's going to have to wait a moment. Anyway. I think that's all the announcements and everything and my thoughts and everything. It's all good. I love everybody. I do. From the bottom of my heart. A lot of you have been able to see that I finally was able to present that personally to a lot of friends and people that I was able to make. It was awesome. It felt so good. I'm going to carry this with me forever. And I'm not going to just be like, oh, yes, you're going to be kind to me. I am thankful for your kindness. Don't go get me some coffee. That's not me. That's not me. Okay? I have emotionally and mentally, heartfelt, soul-felt, matured and grown. I'm thankful and blessed to have been able to show that over the past weekend to a whole lot of people touch me. I get to touch them and make them smile.
Quite physically.
We made each other smile. That was a great thing. Anyway, that's it for this live stream. Look forward to the next one, which hopefully will be Q&A laptop. Christine Chandler, Sanjay Rochu, City of Quickville. Had a fantastic BronyCon weekend. I look forward to seeing y'all again.
Well, I'm glad.
Or talk to y'all sooner.
It's been awkward for everyone else.
See y'all next year. Love it. Have a great, safe, blessed day. Stay well. Stay good. Stay heartfelt positive.
That was...
On August 15th, the Twitter account, NightStar2891, posted a handwritten letter from Chris. Dearest people, confession time. Originally intended for laying low, and to keep a distant bond, still, on the few hurt individuals I like and cared about, after that one tweet wonder mess. This Twitter account, at NightStar2891, is me, Christine Chandler. Again,
no
that
surprise.
mentioned tweet was truly with my heart in the right place, to share appreciation
Everyone
for, and
fucking
the
figured
women I've
that
been
out,
able to
I'm
make
pretty
contact and acquaintance with. Then some other people took a wrongful attack upon them at my expense. I felt terrible about that. 2 of them blocked me, but Hater informed him that. I pray they will unblock and open up to me again soon. This also is reflected in MLP Season 7, episode Fame and Misfortune. The main 6, or 5 of them, were not used to being criticized overly by fan ponies, as well as misread and misunderstood. I, too, felt all this as early 2007. I'm popular, and I don't like it, said Applejack, and how Rarity overreacted, Fluttershy having to explain herself repeatedly. All that was me, and it took a long time to adjust and become resistant to the hate. I am in control of how these various reactions to my Sonichu and self-content make me feel and react. I try to not let the critics get to me anymore, and everyone affected by the misunderstood tweet of mine. You all have control to not let the haters and trolls affect you at all, too. This Nightstar Twitter was a Lalo alternative for me after that fiasco. I was not originally going to tweet from it. Then one of the trolls contacted me. I was tempted to troll the trolls now. Dumb. Me. But the trolls, on their forum, have admitted to being well confused with my character's creation of this Richmond gal with a UVA degree working around and around. I can be quite the actress, even in simulating other fonts from other people. Regardless, lying all that was wrong of me, and I am sorry for lying in this. And, as I was finally able to share at BronyCon with a lot of people, I am, by default, a kind, understanding, compassionate, heart-in-the-right-place person and individual, and I enjoy sharing genuine, pleasant smiles, moments, and memories with others, and my heart is open. I would delight in all of us putting the Twitter mishaps behind us and moving on towards being better people. Thank you, sincerely, and with all my heart, with love. I'm sorry. Miss Christine W. Chandler.
Okay.
BronyCon made Christine feel loved and accepted due to the nature of the attendees generally maintaining an air of acceptance and kindness, though often it was merely face-value courtesy. Riding high on waves of happiness, Christine would soon be met with dark clouds once again.
And again, and again, and again, of course. That's the end of that one. Tune in the next video for idea guide Johnson Wiles and Stephen Boyd, among which is chronicled an awakening of the CPU. Oh, no. You know, Chris Chan is basically what Hank Hill was afraid Bobby was going to become. You know you fucked up when not safe for work Twitter artists actively refuse to take your money. In the meantime, Chris, watch YouTube videos to learn how to communicate. Whoa, an effort to improve? With the dead, of course. Doopy was dealing with forces way beyond her understanding. When you're the weirdest person at a brony convention, you know you're at rock bottom. Literally. Imagine going to a My Little Pony convention and still being the most awkward person there. I thought Doopy was like, it's okay, I know all about Chris, and she's not bothering me, and she's actually very nice and not creepy. After being warned multiple times and didn't act surprised when Chris is creepy and upsetting. And upsetting. I'm feeling less surprised and more disappointed. She just wanted to give the girl a chance to be a kind person, literally. I feel so bad for the MLP voice actors. They've had to deal with so many weirdos over the years. No surprise Chris is one of them, of course. I'm still learning what is okay to do and not to do. Chris, you're fucking 40! Last video, and then I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I don't know. No, what happened? No. I'm scared. Okay, I'm worried about this one. What happens? She's not been good to her pets, that's for sure.
Christine wrote many tweets on the social media site Twitter, mentioning and referencing.
Hey, look, Supreme Pizza is actually really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Series, My Little Pony, and its voice actors, still expressing joy and love for all in the aftermath of her attendance at the BronyCon convention. On the 16th, in response to a tweet concerning voice actress Tabitha St. Germain blocking Chris on the site, St. Germain replied that she blocked Chris not because of her, but because of the cloud of trolls which followed her, calling the practice parasitic behavior. In response, Christine, using her Nightstar2891 account, replied to Tabitha via a long string of tweets, saying that after being trolled for years, she learned to not take their words to heart and keep them out of her mind. She added to that at BronyCon,
everyone knows that
you're herself with kindness.
Everyone knows that Nightstar is Christine.
The trolls from the voice actresses she met.
So that's really bad.
That coming out as a lesbian trans woman resulted in her being kind to herself.
Also, Jesus Christ, you don't need to type out that many threads.
She wouldn't ask Tabitha to unblock her main account, but would like to have the opportunity to connect every now and then, with a chance to perhaps earn her trust as a friend. Tabitha St. Germain soon also blocked Chris's Nightstar account.
Good.
On August 18th, Christine wrote on Patreon that new printed Sonichu comic books meant to be delivered to her paying patrons had arrived at her house, but she was unable to ship them yet since funds were low because she had gone to BronyCon. She informed her supporters that it could take around 2 weeks for the comics to be sent. The next day, she became a patron for My Little Pony voice actress Michelle Kreber. At this point, it was around a week since the United the Right rally was held in Charlottesville, a gathering of white supremacists and neo-Nazis.
Ew,
Possibly on August 20th, Chris attended a church service while still wearing her pony ears and unicorn horn from her time at BronyCon. Her outfit apparently upset some parishioners, and after she came back home, she wrote a letter aimed at Kathy Wesselot, voice actress from My Little Pony, whom she met at the convention. Chris took a picture of the letter and posted it on Twitter, mentioning the voice actress and asking for her advice regarding the church incident. I've had a day that started out happy and delightful. I felt like donning my pony ears and unicorn horn and tail to my church today. I've made a lot of people smile, and it was as normal as could be, with my sharing the joys from BronyCon 2017. Then later, during a Bible verse reading, my church friend suddenly burst out in tears. I felt along with her, the hate bout in Charlottesville, Virginia last weekend. Then, my pastoral consoler, who was part of the choir this week, hands me a note. Please remove your headgear. It's reminding us of Nazis, specifically the not-Nazi jesters who mocked the haters. I felt utter shock. I removed my headgear, and I tensed up, fanning myself with the program as I was feeling hot. I ended up closing myself and breaking out in tears myself, being forced to remove what made me and most other people smile, feeling like not being able to calm a post-about-it crowd. The empathy for my friend not being able to make her smile just about killed my mood. I sat there, fanning myself with my right, gripping the bench with my left, and paralyzed. I stayed a while longer. Then I left during the collection with the plates. I took a rest and some Valium after I got back home. I feel some recovered, but feel some mild headache now. Have y'all ever heard such a thing? Pony ears and unicorn horn, being reminiscent of an anti-Nazi jester? I've never, and I meant no harm. What are your thoughts, Kathy? Thank you for listening. Christine W. Chandler. Kathy Wesseluk failed to respond. On August 21st, Christine uploaded 2 videos on YouTube of her view of the solar eclipse, which was witnessed across the United States.
Oh my god. Bro, I was so fucking lucky to be out of school that day. Oh my god. Guess I had a fucking, therapy. This was back in middle school. This was like some required meeting that I had to do. And that just happened to be the day of the solar eclipse. And someone let me borrow their eclipse glasses and I saw the eclipse. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know why.
On the internet, does Christine Chandler come to you live from home once again? Right outside, waiting for the solar eclipse. I look up at it, at the sun through my special glasses I got with the little guidebook. It looks like a crescent. It's a crescent sun. Like it's grinning down on us. And as you can see from the noise making, that's when your voice, your big. See, alive and well. What? Anyway, I'll record a second video closer to when the eclipse actually happens. So stay tuned. Thank you. We are approaching so much closer to the eclipse over here, live above our heads, and is smiling down upon us, the sun. I'd say just like in all Equestria, Celestia, smiling down while Luna's covering her. Eventually, at one point, in a few minutes, it's going to become total blackness out here, and you'll be already able to see my face, my head.
It's not really like total.
But when the eclipse happens, I'm going to do something very special. I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to do it as well. But it's like total eclipse of the heart. Just art and motion, art and poetry. And for everyone, after it's happened, they get to watch me enjoy this as well. Because I know I'm recording this, I'm not streaming from my phone. You know why? Because somebody might call me and interrupt the streaming. We don't want that. Now do it. We do not. Oh! Look at that though, through that dark cloud, you can see the grin without needing glasses. That's a moment in perfection right there. What are you doing driving? The eclipse is
don't blind us.
passing by vehicle right now. Oops.
Yeah,
I took a little throw off as the curve was to my left. Now it's to my right. Hi, Mom, just a moment. Yeah. I think, the book did say we were getting a partial eclipse. I think that's all we were having. Oh, well. At least in this neck of the woods, we had a constant smile down upon us from the sun. Christine Chandler, coming to you live from home. Y'all have a great, safe day.
In response to comments of concern for Sorbet's health condition, Chris wrote on Twitter that the vet informed her that the cat's breathing problem was permanent. Later that day, Chris handwrote a letter from My Little Pony voice actress Kelly Sheridan and tagged her in a tweet which featured a photo of it. In the letter, Chris wrote that in response to what the voice actress had said in the Changing Your Mark panel, artists like them could offer creative and thoughtful feedback in their abilities and expand their repertoire of skills. Chris herself had taken up basic cooking skills, as learning new skills can help keep the mind more active and able during the aging process. She also had binge-watched a lot of cartoons and anime in her lifetime, a trait reportedly held in common by both her and Kelly. She closed the letter with an account describing the naming process behind one of the Pokemon she had in the game Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire. On August 23rd, Chris tweeted 2 photos of her miniature figurine of My Little Pony character, Spike the Dragon, seemingly reading an equally miniature copy of Sonichu Issue 0, with the front cover redesigned to replace Christian with Nightstar.
Oh, that's
on
what
August
the
24th,
fuck?
Christine wrote on Facebook that she had allegedly overheard a conversation between her pony character, Nightstar, and My Little Pony's Lyra Heartstrings, positing the origin of how she got her cutie mark of a lyre on her hind, possibly by ascending into the heavens and meeting their god character, then descended back to the land of Equestria and learned of the magic to walk on clouds and the anthropology. The next day, Chris posted the cover image of the upcoming comic book, Sonichu, issue 12-9, on Patreon, which would star her custom pony character, Nightstar, and would for the time being be considered as My Little Pony fanfiction, with hopes of it becoming canon to the official storyline. Chris elaborated on the comic's concept in the description. Introducing Nightstar of Equestria, a unique unicorn with the ability to open dimension portals to view into and visit other dimensions and worlds. She can view our internet and YouTube videos through one, like an instant PC monitor. She also has all
Of course she would have to have that power.
As an artist herself, and linked to myself, Christine Chandler, mentally and visually through a portal. She draws and writes the Sonichu comic book series in Equestria. Replace me with her. Transformation to Christian Sonichu, still the same, and all humans with bodies and horses. Nightstar may be considered overpowered, but she still
Are there trolls in Equestria then?
has her flaws, not autism or Asperger's, period, and she uses her powers for good. Look forward to her life story, shortened, plus a day in Ponyville and around in the next Sonichu after completing number 12. Thank you for your loyalty and patience. I am a proud Pegasister in the Brony Herd community. On August 25th, Lady of the Cosmo, illustrator and close friend of several members of the Planet Dolan YouTube conglomerate, tweeted that she was tired from working hard and wished her followers a good night. Christine replied with, "Rest comfy and easy, dear." In response, Lady of the Cosmo strongly wrote that she was not Chris's dear, nor was anyone else from Planet Dolan. Chris apologized and stated that she meant the term neutrally, soon adding that the actress, Tallulah Bankhead, most famous during the 1930s and 40s, would be offended by the artist's objection to the term's neutral usage. Chris later came back to the conversation to post a newly created drawing and letter addressing Lady of the Cosmo. Open letter. Something that grinds my gears is how people are not accepting of the neutral terms of darling or dear.
Oh my god, shut up.
Neutral addressing in lieu of the various online nicknames or actual names in general when that detail is unknown or when the other person is too distant to trust me, yet on addressing them by their name. I swear, if Tallulah Bankhead were alive today, she would never put up with such disrespectful responses. That is all for now, darling.
Darling.
Lady rebutted, providing dictionary definitions of the words dear and darling. Chris accused her of siding with the haters, while Lady said that there was a difference between haters and those who serve sweet justice towards heartless hooligans such as Christine. Chris denied those claims. Lady of the Cosmo wrote back that if she did have a heart, then she would not have harassed to be do-over like she did, calling her selfish with a heart filled with fatty layers of greed. Chris denied those claims. Christine
literally, her only defenses are, I am not
but she had said the wrong things in grave error. Lady stated,
literally, her only defenses are literally just, no, I'm not.
That no one felt any pity for her, to which Chris rebutted that she was a sincere, kind person with lots of music and love in her heart and soul. Lady of the Cosmo then called her Christopher Asshat, and that her actions made her who she was. Chris notified her that she was growing tired and weary of the dispute since the illustrator refused to open up her heart and accept and move on. Lady of the Cosmo clarified that everyone was tired and weary because of Christine, after trying patiently to make her understand. The two continued to argue, with Chris writing that she would keep digging until people like Lady actually understood her and stopped being so closed-hearted.
Oh my god!
As long as she would keep going. Lady called her a horrible
Chris,
person with a facade in the form of a painted smile. Chris denied those claims. She informed Lady that she only used those terms with people she liked, to which other Twitter users replied asking whether she would use those words with males as well, and commented that Chris very, very rarely replied to men on the social media platform. Lady of the Cosmos saw it as proof that Christine was trying to get close to women by using those terms of endearment. Chris then unfollowed her after telling her that she hoped Lady would have a nightmare that night. Lady then blocked Christine.
Oh, scary.
On, Lady of the Cosmo addressed the argument with other concerned Twitter users, stating that she was alright, and that it felt great to give Chris a piece of her mind, though was worried for other creators who might get preyed on by her in the future. By using her Nightstar2891 Twitter account, Christine tweeted at her own main account, giving words of support and calling her darling, seemingly pretending to be a different person. Chris then replied to Nightstar.
Chris, come on, everyone knows that
Nightstar liked her.
Everyone knows you're behind the Nightstar account. Stop it.
Seen as neutral and would never do anything to harass Nightstar. Christine then used her main account to show the brief conversation she had with Nightstar as a positive example of how to properly accept terms like dear and darling.
Fuck off.
Lady noticed Chris was using her alternative account and shared the conversation, calling her a psycho. Christine then blocked Lady of the Cosmo on Twitter. On Facebook, the chosen gal pal, Kim Wilson, shared a brief clip from the cartoon series The Simpsons to showcase what problem Chris had been having. She elaborated that it was not Chris's place to decide what is and is not uncomfortable for other people, and that terms like dear and darling could be offensive from a feminist point of view. Since Christine was a biological male, Kim wrote that she had male privilege, and she spent more time thinking how she made other women feel so she could correct her behavior. During this time, Christine left many replies to tweets written by Jessie Nowak, or Nowacking, a popular voice actor with connections to the My Little Pony fandom. Chris wrote about her own experiences and offered her own advice in response to Nowacking's tweets concerning relationships. On August 27th, she found out that Nowacking had also blocked her, likely as a result of numerous calls to do so from Weens. Chris shared screen captures of Twitter users advising Chris against becoming so attached to other users or accusing her of stalking, writing that she would be mass reporting these accounts. In response to MLP voice actress Tara Strong tweeting that she wanted out of this dimension because of some negative news regarding President Donald Trump, Chris wrote that she wanted to join her. Twitter user Aphonic Phonology replied that escaping to another universe would not change the way she treated others, and that she should come back to Earth to deal with her problems like an adult. Kiwi Farms members soon noticed that Chris used her Nightstar account to follow Nowacking, bypassing her blog. It was also on that day that Chris created an account on BronyMate, an online dating website designed for fans of My Little Pony. She described herself as an all-round, good-natured, high-functioning, autistic, female lesbian soul and trans woman, artist, gamer, and creative type, and revealed that she was the original creator of Sonichu, Rosechu, and the city of Quakeville. She stated that she was looking for a kind, compassionate, good-looking woman who was as local as possible, and who could appreciate her for who she was, and not judge her. At the end of the day, Chris wrote a long thread of tweets justifying her actions. I will answer a question right now. Why do you act young while you're actually an adult? I am young at heart, a concept I've kept within myself since childhood. If you keep a youthful attitude, you can keep the energy when old. A concept some people apparently do not comprehend. Youthful energy is better filled with kindness, compassion, and love for others and yourself. To be adulting with so much drama gets boring, regardless of us having to deal with it, respectively, in our own lives. And we, the young at heart, stand alongside our liked and cared others, men and women of every race, orientation, and so forth, with love. Love that would normally be found in our youth, despite lack of better wisdom and knowledge. There are no man-children. Everyone is a child to their parents and elders, as well as God, our Creator. Haters, stop adulting, find your past, youthful selves, and reconnect. The next day, Christine wrote an update on Patreon.
Of course, a man-child would say there's no man-children.
Because she was feeling off on the count of trolls on Twitter, convincing another person she liked to block her, even though her messages to that person were of support. She also shared the update on Twitter, damning the trolls for coercing those she talked to into blocking her, the kind and compassionate victim. She then posted a poll, asking if they were in the same situation, would they block the many internet trolls or the victims they followed?
What the fuck?
She also shared the poll on Facebook, asking her friends to vote for the hero and not the bullies. In addition, she privately messaged
Why do you
several
still have
people, at least
Doopy's
on
profile
Twitter,
picture?
to share around the link to her poll so more people could see it, hinting that maybe Tara Strong could influence the vote if it reached her. Kristen hypothetically asked if people would block out the heroes of Sailor Moon and Transformers to keep them from the villains, and promoted the hashtag #BlockTheTrolls so people not block the heroes. She then used her Nightstar account to like all of her tweets on her main account.
God damn it.
At the end of the day, Chris revealed the results of the poll to find that an overwhelming majority, likely made up of weens, voted in favor of blocking the victims and not the trolls. A Twitter user asked for clarification on whether Doopy Do-Over blocked her because of the trolls, or because of specifically Chris, like she had stated. Christine answered that Doopy was stressed and misdirected her upset towards the wrong person.
Oh.
On August 29th,
even though
Chris
what
shared
you've
on
done
Facebook
is
a
literally
generated
everywhere on the
feature
internet.
she received on the site Witty Bunny 6 years prior, commenting that during the year 2011, she was still figuring herself out, and that it was not a good year for her because her father died that September, and that owner of the game place, Michael Snyder, snared Chris and his mother into his trap, which caused the challengers to lose all of the remaining money the Bob had left them. Christine also wrote on Twitter that she wished that every day would be like BronyCon, with lots of people full of sincere kindness, approaching everyone, instead of having haters and trolls unblocked, and having the heroes blocked. Also on that day, she wrote an extensive Facebook post stating that she would try finish coloring the new Sonichu pages, despite feeling weighed down by getting blocked by Doopy Do-Over, Tabitha St. Germain, and Jessie Nowacking on Twitter. She elaborated that she supported those creators in sharing kindness and compassion, but the trolls and bullies that followed her began harassing them and bad-mouthing Christine for not being sincere and committing immature deeds in the past, thusly overrunning their Twitter and lives if they would not block Christine, the hero. She closed with stating that her heart was in it, and that she had learned from 5+ years of mistakes and miscontent by which people continued to judge her wrongfully and divide people. In response, Kim Wilson accused her of not listening to women when they gave Chris criticism and felt that creating another Twitter account to evade Doopy's blocking was stalker behavior, fearing Chris would murder someone one day and blame it on the trolls. Chris later shared screen caps of her post on Twitter, directly addressing the accounts which had blocked her by tagging them. Her
What
account
the fuck?
to evade Doopy's blocking was...
I read what bothered Doopy. Everyone except you saw it. Doopy said that you were disturbing her out with your pet names and being intrusive and creepy. When she told you to stop, you evaded her block. That is stalker behavior. I fear you will murder someone one day and blame it on the trolls. And blame your intrusive interactions with Doopy on the trolls. What else will you blame on them? Definitely a personal space faux pas here. I seriously doubt this is going to lead to a murder
fearing
case.
Chris would murder someone one day and blame it on the trolls. Chris later shared screen caps of her post on Twitter, directly addressing the accounts which had blocked her by tagging them. Chris later apologized to Lady of the Cosmo for their unrequited dispute and regretted reporting her account, claiming that it was a bad move on Chris's part and believed that Lady could be a better person than that. Lady herself replied, writing that she wished for Chris to maturely apologize for making her uncomfortable by calling her dear, and instead thought that Christine hadn't changed at all because she tried to correct Lady's judgment of the situation. Lady also added that the dispute arose because Chris would never be a woman as pretty as Lady of the Cosmo, both inside and out. On August 30th, Christine made a YouTube video showing a new trick she could do with her tongue.
For I am the kind and compassionate Christine Chandler. And now I can roll my R's. I am still in practice. So everybody is honored to be rolling in the press.
Roll. Everybody is honored to be rolling in the press. I'm surprised you didn't know how to do that when you were doing Spanish class.
The narrator of the super planet News, but I am powerful nonetheless in that sense. Not great and powerful, I'm kind and compassionate.
Are you?
Christine Chandler. Now everyone stay green and go out and zap to the Exterina. Have a lovely day.
I'm cringing.
On September 1st, encouraged by a campaign promoted by Tara Strong, Chris donated $20 to the American Red Cross to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey. 2 days later, by her Nightstar account, Christine posted 26 Twitter screenshots of herself being supportive and kind to creators like Doopy and Nowacking, followed by trolls and replies by Weens. Chris then went back to her main account to display Nightstar's tweeted screenshots as examples of trolls who should have been blocked.
What the
Later
fuck?
on, digital artist R. Merriweather invited Chris to be a guest on a podcast called Internet Dream Lounge, which was co-hosted by himself and EDM artist Easy K. The next day, Merriweather notified his Twitter followers that the interview was completed and was due to be released the following week. Merriweather then created a Gooby Farms account and revealed that he did not know exactly why Chris agreed to do the interview, but suggested that it was to promote her own Patreon account. After prolonged attempts to make the interview more edited down and entertaining, it was officially scrapped to never be released, though it was leaked at a later point.
PC has actually been quite a big fan of Sonic Q for some years.
I love Sonic Q. I really do.
Support me on Patreon, and I'll send you copies of the books.
Dude, for what's your base amount for Patreon?
Well, basically, minimum, just so I can make sure the books are varying, because with my publisher, minimum has to be 48 pages, and the more pages there are, the more expensive it is for me, and then I have to pay shipping, of course.
Right, of course.
They talk about the origins of the creation of Sonichu and the beginning of her transgender identity, before moving on to talking about trolls and pickles.
Okay.
And then she and I walked off together, and then we were intercepted by this guy in a pickle suit, pickle costume. And I was like, I was thrown off by that, and then I didn't know what to think, but then eventually she walked off to her car with the guy in the pickle suit escorting her. I was like, oh my god, what the hell was that?
Top 10 anime betrayals.
I'm very sorry.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
You must imagine in retrospect it's a bit funny.
Yeah, kind of funny, especially when you got the adult definition of how a pickle can be interpreted. But really, that's not that is one aspect that turns me off from the vegetable. What really turns me off from the vegetable is actually the taste and flavor. And as I have eaten pickles before, like, off a burger or a sandwich, that pickle brine doesn't quite suit me well.
Fair enough.
What about kosher? Yeah. How do you feel about kosher pickles as opposed to dill?
I also never tried kosher.
They're pretty good. That's the one that I like better.
I'd sample it.
Yeah. It's worth a try.
It's good you're open to new things at least. So have you encountered the man in the pickle suit more than once, or is that the only time?
I think it might have been another time where outside the pickle suit he came back to Virginia. And we just hung out for a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, I do know who he is.
Oh.
Okay.
There are several situations where, of course, you sampled videos from your previous channel. There's one video which you uploaded once, which features a young, decent-looking man who is interacting with you and joined you in a comedy skit where you drank a potion and became this man. A lot of people were very curious who this guy was. Was it a family friend? Do you remember who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he actually was a friend of mine and one of my gal pals who actually lives in the Charlottesville area. Not going to name any names, but yeah, he was a friend, and he's currently married and very well to. I haven't talked to him in a long time though.
They discuss more trolls of the past, Chris's political stance, and more recent happenings, like her trip to BronyCon and her Twitter blockings.
Yes,
that's fun.
One final party thought I'd like to offer before we close out. Over the years of which I have been mislabeled or misimaged or slandered by the bad people. Let's just call that neutrally by the bad people.
Okay,
of course,
the a-holes.
That's all in the past, and that's in between the miscontent I
wouldn't say it's in the past.
Repurposed for that. That's not me. That's not me totally. You can't find me in those aspects. All the way around, while I was still young and naive, didn't know as much as I do now, and don't know everything. We're not supposed to learn everything. I have always been, and always will be, and am a kind, heartfelt person, and I've always liked helping and sharing a smile, making people feel better. That was always
that's
me,
what you
and
want
I
to
encourage
think.
everybody, regardless of whether however they express their feelings of like and love, to just go out and be like, hey, you're cool, whatever, fist bump, handshake, maybe a hug, do whatever's comfortable for you, as long as you at least share a little bit of good, sincere kindness. I encourage that with everyone.
Wow, that's very cool.
Thank you, and thank you everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us, Chris.
Yeah, you were great.
Thank you.
Fun.
It's been a pleasure.
All right.
On September 3rd, Christine announced that she had unblocked all the people she had previously blocked on Twitter. She then proceeded to backtalk and reply to many tweets criticizing her. Notable controversial YouTube creator, Count Dankula, also replied to Chris, wishing that she would follow him back because he wanted them to have a live stream together. On the 4th, to commemorate what would have been her father's 90th birthday, Chris made a video in which she read out 2 letters written by her father, Bob Chandler.
And today, this special Captain's Log, start date 09/04/2017. This date marks my late father's, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., his 90th birthday. Miss him every day. Younger, older. Got a couple of pictures of him. Anyway, in honor of his birthday today, I'd like to share something that actually came from him. He actually
are you gonna sell that for Legos too?
And he wrote a few things to me. In honor of his birthday, I'm going to be reading out his letter that he made out to me by my porn name. And he started on December 26, 1987. This is after he got his Tandem brand computer. We used the word processor in that. I used the word processor in there as well I made the list of all the video games I owned. That was pretty much that there. Everything was just a word processor. Anyway, so to Christopher Weston Chandler from your daddy. Started December 26, 1987.
She reads out the letter in full before moving on to another one.
August 18th, 2008. Dear Christian, at this time in life, you and Sancho need a quest and purpose in life.
Damn.
As if Sancho didn't have a purpose already that I given him, and everybody else and everything. This is what he wanted, my father. Let Sancho become a champion for autistic persons everywhere and continually defeat the perils of autism. Good grief. Sancho could become the spokesperson for autistic persons with an ongoing fight for them in chapter after chapter or good deeds on the internet. He could become the spokesperson from now on. You and Sancho could become famous worldwide. What? There's a little mini poster on the back.
Well, they definitely became famous for all the fucking wrong reasons now. That sucks.
It's like, look at this.
Bob's rolling in his grave from this.
Is that me? Is that me? Sancho, defender, champion, and educator of autistic persons everywhere. Knocking out the big A. It's funny. Yeah, he was a smart man, my father. Not everything as it would be. I mean, Sancho does not have autism. None of my electric hedgehog Pokemon have autism. I mean, the only autistic Pokemon I made was the grass psychic type.
Autistic, my favorite.
That's it's on the train card I've made before, but I don't have it on me right now. It's in my binder. So anyway, happy birthday, Mr. Chandler, wherever you are. And now, by special request, I still don't know all the lyrics, but I'll sing the choral verse. We're not flawless, we're work in progress. We've got bits and we've got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work, yeah. So anyway, that's it for now. This is Christine and Bob Chandler signing off.
I don't think she knows of the word choral.
Have a great, safe day.
Sort of like chorus music.
On September 7th, Chris made another video for YouTube, discouraging her trolls from interacting with everyone on the internet with whom she talked.
I want you all to listen up for a moment.
Okay.
Especially the internet trolls and cyberboys who pester everybody I talk to. You should not be doing that because I know what y'all are requiring of them. You're asking them about me. And guess what? They're not going to have any information about me whatsoever because depending on how much communication we had, you can consider the communication with most, not that much. So they don't know so much about me and I wouldn't know much about them. Like take for example, yes, Doobie Do-Over. We hadn't talked much, at least we talked a little bit. I shared my feedback, I shared my positive input, because she's a good person. But anyway, she does not know anything about me, so nobody had to pester her. And I didn't know much about her except for what she shared on the videos on YouTube. So anyway, point of the matter is, don't harass or mass communicate with anybody on the internet that I talk with, period. If you want to bother somebody, go bother somebody that you're already talking with. Okay? Okay? And also, definitely only 2 accounts on Twitter with my name on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they are? There are no others.
Yeah. Pretty much. Oh, the cat.
Anyway. Lost my train of thought. But anyway. No.
Man.
No.
That cat deserves better for sure.
Stop harassing people. Because not only do I like them, but I care about some to all of them. Okay? Cut it out. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you.
On that same day, Chris wrote on Facebook that she was feeling lonesome and sad because she still hadn't found her sweetheart. She had not given up her search, but had backed away for the moment, praying that her sweetheart would find her. In response, her Facebook friend, William Elliott Waterman, wrote that praying for a sweetheart to find her was a selfish, passive, and defeatist thing to do. He added that he knew married parents were some of the loneliest people he had ever met, showcasing that finding a sweetheart was not a miracle cure for unhappiness, and encouraged her to do more to enlighten or cleanse her body, like exercising or meditating to make herself relax and feel happy in her own skin. Soon after, Chris's longtime Facebook friend, Jessica Quinn, left a comment, simply writing that the two needed to talk.
Oh.
Presumably after holding a private conversation, Jessica revealed on Facebook that she and Christine began a so-called complicated romantic relationship.
What the fuck,
In the comment section that the two were testing the waters.
Bro,
On
what?
September 8th, Chris officially declared on YouTube that she was in a relationship with Jessica Quinn.
It finally happened. I'm Christine Weston Chandler, and I am in a true, loving relationship with my sweetheart. Miss Jessie. My little Miss Jessie. And I'm her little Miss Christine. It's real true, real good.
God, just listening to the cat is
making
making
to each
me...
other for more than a couple of years. She is made aware of all trolls and bullies, and it's taking me on, it's choosing me as her sweetheart. Still work in progress in this relationship. Well, I'm her champion. I'm going to defend her from all trolls and bullies. I have true love in my heart. It's unreal to me. I'm getting used to it. But I stand straight to arms. I'm not going to let anybody harass or bother my sweetheart. If y'all have any questions about our relationship, you direct them to me. And upon there being any of which she and I mutually agree whether or not to share or leave offline, period, our relationship will mainly be offline. Jessica, I love you with all my heart. And I am yours. Forever on, as long as you have me. I'll do my best for you, if not better. Excuse me. So everybody please respect her as you would respect me very much. Thank you.
Great.
Have a good safe day.
Oh, finally I'm almost done with this.
Gibby Farms user, Moonman's son, had a private conversation with Jessica on Facebook. They questioned whether she was truly genuine or a troll, with Jessica firmly stating that she was simply trying out the relationship with Chris and seeing if it would work. She revealed that she was well aware of Christine's past actions, admitting that there were poor choices made by Chris, but would still go ahead with their relationship because she felt that things and people can change, wishing that their interactions be kept more private.
But like Chris actually changed for the better.
As a real woman, genuinely interested in a possible relationship with Christine, most people assumed her to be a troll on the count of her sometimes ethically questionable Facebook posts over the years. Whatever the case, Christine believed, once again, that she had found her sweetheart, a girlfriend like she wished, who could right all her wrongs and change her life for the better.
That's some tough shit, dude. Vet, your cat's breathing problem is permanent. Chris, permanent? Yes, unless you pay for it, not permanent. So sad. The way Chris literally scoffs and laughs at his dad's dreams of Chris becoming an important member of society is one of the saddest and infuriating things in Chris dream. Pissed me off. Chris, oh yeah, Sorbet is fine and healthy. Sorbet, God left me unfinished. Here's Sorbet, he's alive and well. Sorbet, pet cemetery. He's alive and well. Between Sorbet's fucked breathing and Bob's letter, this is one of the most depressing episodes yet. Listening to poor Sorbet gurgling and choking while Chris just stares into the fucking sun, wearing a strap-on horn and jabbering nothing into the camera is so depressing and infuriating at the same time. I just want to slap the shit out of Chris, I swear to God. Like, even I could beat her ass, bro. Like, I swear. The lady, you're selfish, your heart is fat, and you're full of greed. Christian, I'm not selfish. Tad, those products were Tessa and Buddies and Kitties. You're a mean old witch. Sandy, I am not old. Stop saying I look like Chicken Little. He's dumb and he's a coward, and I am not a coward. Sorbet's alive and well. Loud gurgling noises, I swear. My name Jeff. My bad, Jeff. Please help me. It's the little things. Everyone talks about how Gino yells the all caps words, but the bits where he lowers the volume for tiny letters is pure art. Chris, I'm in need. Send us money. We need food. Chris, after receiving money, buys $100 worth of commissions, $400 Transformer, $1,000 spent on video games. Fucker. This is Sorbet alive and well. Horrible dying cat and sounds. Christian, definitely only 2 accounts on Twitter with my name on them. You know what they are. There are no others. Narrator, there were others. Literally nobody but Chris ever called Chris a loving, kind, caring person, or any of the things he attributes to himself. It's like coming back to a broken home at this point. Chris Chan is a 35-year-old at the time asking for advice from a random 47-year-old lady in regards to her being told to take out the stupid ears and horn at church is really funny to me. Gotta love it. Okay, I'm fucking done with that finally. I need to sleep. I actually need to sleep, like, holy shit. Anyways, that's all for today, my gemsters. If you like this video, you better shatter that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you like me in general. That's all, folks. I'm out.